You are sometimes afraid to experience that loneliness. You feel a distance between how you think, feel, and perceive, and how the persons around you react, those persons in your work environment, or in your family, or whatever the situation you are in. This feeling of being different creates the need to return to yourself, to be alone, to withdraw yourself, but it also calls up loneliness and fear in you of being separate and an outcast. You know that you are often indecisive and vacillate about your attempts to connect with the world around you, that world in which you experience how different you are, where you feel a rejection of your unique energy, and where you do not feel at home. You then have trouble accepting your uniqueness and you are unable to embrace the aloneness that is part of accepting who you are. But that is what is being asked of you if you really want to express your soul's inspiration here. It means taking a backward step from the surrounding social reality that is often formed by old ideas which no longer fit you. Give complete attention to that loneliness, because you have actually experienced that feeling for a long time. It has sometimes been so oppressive that it filled you with despair, because you encountered no kindred spirits in your surroundings and the resultant sense of loneliness was then difficult to bear. See if there are still remnants of that painful loneliness that you have experienced in this life and in previous lives. You can give form to a figure that represents that feeling of being rejected and not understood. Create an image of the part of you that has felt rejected and lonely, and it can take the form of a man, a woman, or a child. From the perspective of your feeling center, look at that person, that part of yourself. Become aware of how that person feels who carries this old burden. You know that as you experience rejection and misunderstanding from the society around you, how that kind of reaction always impacts your emotionality, your humanity. Even though, on a soul level, there may be an inner knowing that accepts that you are different and you bring something new to earth, and it may be clear to you intellectually why you are not understood, still, there is pain inside you, maybe even despair. And that is the part of yourself with which to connect. Perhaps there lives in you a very sad or depressed part that no longer wants to connect with the earth. It has experienced so much rejection and repudiation that it wants to flee from this world. That part may not feel at home here and longs for another world far removed from the earth. A world full of harmony, light, and love, in which unity is felt naturally, and where there is no need to struggle as hard as here on earth. Now imagine that you know that place to where that part wants to flee, that place in the heavens where everything is light and carefree. Imagine you are now in that place, and you will receive that battle-weary figure who has been lonely and misunderstood. You will receive that person in your embrace. Feel the pain of what has happened, the sadness, the feeling of being blocked, the desire to leave, the discouragement, and the feeling that all has been for nothing. But you are free to leave that heaviness behind you, because you are not that. You are the one who can heal that heavy burden, the one who can receive that pain into itself. You are a part of heaven on earth, and you bring that consciousness of unity within you. Ask that pained figure in you what it needs in order to again feel at home here, to again be happy, and to feel that it is welcome here, even with all the pain that is the result of everything you have been through. If that pained part of yourself becomes one with you, and is allowed to be as it is and is taken up into the embrace of your loving consciousness, the heaviness begins to slowly dissipate and you begin to feel how strong you really are. And so you can accept and appreciate your being different, your being alone and your loneliness, and not as something that is wrong, but as something that is very valuable. You are able to connect to a cosmic source of inspiration that feeds and inspires you on this material level, precisely because you have a foot in both worlds. And from that inner source, something new comes to this earth. Imagine for a moment that you stand as a healed and whole person with one foot in this earthly reality and the other foot just outside this reality. From this position you can connect from your crown chakra with the source of light and inspiration, which you recognize as the energy of home that really vitalizes you. Know that you have need of a certain aloneness, your individual way of traveling your own path in order to recognize that inspiration and to allow yourself to be nurtured by it. Just take a backward step from the world to feel who you are, and sense how natural it is to do that. See how taking that backward, inward step need not be a problem, because you can stay connected with this world at the same time. You always keep a certain distance from this world, yet there can also be joy in expressing who you truly are. You can return again and again to this position, because you stand, as it were, always on the edge of earthly reality, the boundary of the two worlds. The outward step is alternated with the inward step, and by doing so you become a richer human being. In this way, you bring the new from the world within. You come to know that the part of you that has often felt lonely or abandoned, or has felt different, can be a source of inspiration if you really understand what is going on within yourself. You come to understand that you cannot be completely of this world and that you have need of being different, because you are different. And so enjoy being alone, and cherish your solitude. It does not mean that you have to leave earthly reality, it is actually the reverse. It is a process of descending more deeply into all that you are, and not only as an earthly person, but also as a soul, a cosmic being who is very old and wise, and one who has been here many times. You need to feel that inner dimension of the soul in order to feel inspired and to remember who you are. Dare to enter into that aloneness, that solitude, because therein lies a great strength. By being more fully connected to that place, you can stand more powerfully, as well as more easily, in this human world. If you experience resistance, or maybe just feel uncomfortable about the reactions of the people around you, and you feel that what you say or emanate is confrontational, you can allow that it does not affect you. You simply stay within your own energy. Sometimes it is necessary to withdraw physically, while at other times, when you are surrounded by people and cannot withdraw, it is still about you and realizing who you are and accepting that. And then you can come and go in this world without getting drawn into it, or without getting affected by energies of rejection, or alienation, or hostility. You can allow those to be. You then know this world need not affect you, because you sense an otherworldly source of inspiration that is deeply embedded in your soul. And so, you become independent of the reactions of others. That is the path you are traveling. Embrace your own power. Believe in it and be the pioneer that you are.